Great to have you with us. Most women love shoes, but how many? Actually, I quite love shoes, and I'm not a woman. Well, only Chuck, so. How many get to make them their life's work, though? Shoes, that is. Kathryn Wilson kicked off her footwear range at the ripe old age of 23 with the help of an AMP scholarship. Her shoes are now stocked by more than 100 boutiques. She has 3 stores of her own, and she's launched a children's and baby range. She also got to meet Jimmy Choo, and has even sold a pair of shoes to Beyoncé. Kathryn joins me now. Kathryn, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Hey, and congratulations for all the success you're having, which really goes down to smarts and hard work, I suppose, doesn't it? First of all, Jimmy Choo, how can a pair of shoes be worth that kind of money? Seriously?
Yeah.
That's just, why don't you just become a bank robber?
They're beautiful. But I think a lot of those women like to just look at them and sleep next to them and
you
have a
wouldn't
little
wear
pet.
them. God, you wouldn't wear them out in the street on the pavement that people in shoes as cheap as mine walk on.
Unless you have a driver and you're going straight to dinner.
I would want someone rolling out carpet in front of me if I was wearing those sort of shoes. And they are beautiful, you're right, but you get to the point, it's like food, you go to a restaurant, you get food, and you get to the point where the food just can't be worth the money that they're charging for it in some restaurants, you know what I mean? All right, let's talk about you. When did you decide that your passion for shoes meant you had to create shoes?
Well, I was always busting to be a shoe designer. I think I was quite a creative child. So at school I was good at art and design subjects, and luckily I had a primary school teacher, Mum, that encouraged me to do something about it. So I studied design. I wasn't able to
always with shoes in your mind.
Well, absolutely. I was obsessed with them. So my favourite pair of shoes when I was little were white with little cutouts, and they made a noise like my mum walking, with a cute little...
Yeah.
So I think I was always excited about that. Or to a 7-year-old, yeah. But,
By these shoes, they'll sound like your mother's walking.
Yeah, it is. It's exciting. But Kung Fu's, Commando M's, that kind of era. So we used to decorate them with fluff-up pens, cut the sides out, turn them into slingbacks. They were $7 shoes. So
your passion at a very early age was to go into the design and manufacture of shoes.
Well, I just really like the idea of having something different and innovative on your feet. And so you can have, it can be quite playful, whereas if you're wearing a corporate wardrobe or you're a certain dress sense, but you can have a party on your feet at the same time.
Okay, party on your feet. Right. Even if your mother's invited, it's still a party on your feet.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's just put this whole thing into context. At the time you were thinking this, the last of the shoe factories in New Zealand would have been closing down. Tariffs were completely lifted off shoes. Shoes were flocking into this country at a fraction of the cost of producing them from all over the world. What did people say when you said to them, this is my passion, this is what I want to do?
Well, exactly. I was 22, so quite naive and excited. And I remember sitting in on a national, New Zealand AGM footwear board meeting and just telling them all I was going to be New Zealand's next big name in shoes. And they all pretty much said, pick another career. It's all moving offshore, everything's changing, it's dying. And these were my heroes of industry that I'd looked up to throughout my studies.
And they were right. These were the people that knew what was happening in the landscape was no tariffs. You just can't compete.
I know, but I think like any 22-year-old, when you're told no like that too, and if you're told it's going to be too hard, I was like, right.
Okay, so on one side of the ledger, you had people literally queuing up to tell you this was a stupid idea. On the other side of the ledger, you won a $5,000 grant from AMP. What difference did that make at that time?
Well, I think I was just so fortunate to be in the position where someone else thought it was a good idea. I think at that age too, you're quite influential and obviously nervous and excited, but I think having someone else warrant it that, yes, we believe in you too and this is going to be great and go for it, do it.
So it wasn't just the money, it was the emotion behind it as well.
Oh, absolutely. I think the confidence that came from thinking a big company like AMP thought it was a good idea as well. And the mentoring I've had since through, some of those people on the original judging panel.
Because it wasn't just the 5,000, there was mentoring and there was also financial, you've got a financial planner to help you.
Yeah, absolutely. So for the last 13 years in business, AMP has really been a part of a lot of our journey, which is awesome. And if I've ever had a financial, houses, mortgages, I put my hand up and they're always there to say, this is the right way to do it.
So that was quite a turning point for you.
Oh, definitely. I think I always look back to that and wonder if it hadn't have happened then, and at that age I probably would have been there's the fear that comes in a little bit older and when you have more responsibilities, but being 23 and quite...
Oh, you're bulletproof.
No.
You could do a stupid thing like build a shoe factory where all the others are closing down. What happens next? So what are your plans for the future?
Oh, well, we've just had a really exciting growth for us in retail. We wholesale for 9 years and then we've opened 3 stores in Auckland in the last 2 years. And obviously online is really exciting for us with our e-commerce. There's all sorts of, opportunities to do things globally.
I quite often go to the States. If ever you need a pair of shoes delivered to Beyoncé,
Oh, yes.
I'm happy to take them over with me if you like.
Yeah.
If you just can organise it. In fact, I'm happy to pay for them too.
Oh, good.
But I'll just take them over. You just do the intros.
How exciting was that? I know. I just couldn't believe
That would
it.
have been
It's the
amazing.
most wonderful. Yeah. And also to think that she then posted on her Instagram to 38.3 million followers. And Jay-Z later posted a photo of their little girl Blue dancing out the back of the Grammys in her little Miss Wilson's.
Is it possible, just finally, is it possible to actually monetize something like that? When there's a picture of Beyoncé wearing your shoes, roughly what is that worth to you in business terms?
Well, I think definitely it depends where you're selling. Like if it's an international market that we're looking into, there's a whole lot of cred that comes with that. But for me, it was a warm fuzzy because we'd just turned 10 that year. It was more a celebration of thinking that it's worth all of the hard work and the whole point you're doing it in the first place is for the love of shoes. And if Beyonce loves them too, then I'm winning.
The love of shoes. It's like MasterChef all of a sudden. I'm so passionate for shoes. Kathryn, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And
Thanks for having me.
congratulations on your success. Kathryn Wilson Shoes. And if you think you've got what it takes, you can apply for an AMP scholarship today. Just head to doyourthing.co.nz.